We need the lights.
Hey, what up, friends? We are live. Welcome to Sunday Night Live this evening. We want to say welcome. My name is Jimmy Marilyn. This is my wife, Marilyn. And boom, that's our names right up there on the screen. We fancy. You like our new frame too? That's pretty cool, right?
And by we mean Jimmy. Because I don't know how to do any of that. I would just turn my phone on and say, let's go live, and then just do this.
Marilyn would say I'm too bougie for that. Now, one of the things that you may notice tonight is that you might have some music in the background. I don't know how much you can hear of it or not, but our son and his friend are switching out speakers in his car, and they have loud music going in the garage. And since we don't have a fancy, quiet studio, you're going to maybe hear some of that in the background. So let's just consider it background ambiance music, and we'll call it good. So anyway,
the joy of
we want to
having teenagers in the home.
Yeah, we want to say welcome. Want to say if you're here with us, drop some comments in the comments so we can see that you're here and who's with us. We just want to say hi. I see Paul Belt out there. Hello to Paul. Cindy Flores says Phil and I are here. Thank you. And Paul again saying that that they're there on Facebook as well. So anyway, drop some comments in there. Let us know that you're here. And
Paul is in all the places.
All the places, for sure. So anyway, just starting out, I'm really excited about this. Marilyn has a huge announcement that she's ready to give you. So go ahead. I'm just messing. I wanted to see what her face would look like if I said that.
I'm like, hang on, let me look at our notes. What?
I'm just kidding. So anyway, I guess I'm feeling feisty this evening, but that's all right.
Here's Tammy. Tammy's here. Hi, Tammy.
Hi, Tammy.
I haven't seen you in a while. Message me sometime. I want to know how you're doing. We need to catch up.
There's Lori Macia.
Lori.
Hello, Lori. We thought we saw your doppelganger yesterday at the baseball field. Mm-hmm. There was somebody we walked by and we're like, was that Lori? I don't know why she'd be at the Tulare baseball field, but it was totally somebody different.
It was so funny because I was like, and then I was like, oh, wait a minute. And we knew him.
Right on. So anyway, happy to have all of you with us. We're just giving a couple minutes for more people to jump on and hopefully say hi. Crystal Reynolds, you are here for now. That's great. And I have a really busy schedule right now. So welcome. Teresa White. Hello, Teresa.
Hi, Teresa.
How are you? So anyway, we're going to get moving. We're going to try to tighten these things up a little bit and maybe not go the full hour tonight, right?
Yes. So you're going to have to cut it short.
I'm going to have to stop talking. But Gilbert and Evelyn, hello.
Oh, hi, Gilbert and Evelyn.
So anyway, we're going to tighten some stuff up. We wanted to make an announcement first and foremost that we are going to change the format of our Sunday Night Lives a little bit. We're going to go to an every other week system. As you guys maybe saw with us last week, I've got church board meetings now on the fourth Sunday of every month. And so in the interest of not like trying to scramble and rush and do all that.
And we all know that when Jimmy's down, like, I don't know, the whole ship sinks.
No, it doesn't. You do fine. You got to give yourself a little more credit. But anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to go to a first and third Sunday kind of format on this. And so we'll give you guys reminders as far as when we're doing this and when we're not. But just every other week, we feel like is probably okay. We don't want to just get into repeating the same information and all that. We're also going to try to focus a little more on guests and bringing guests in. to kind of interview and to have conversations with that are relevant. And kind of as we shift gears a little bit into more education, more information type stuff, we need to get to where freedom is the new normal, right? And part of that is making sure that we don't go back to the way things have been in the last 2 years. So there's going to be a lot of resources and things that even starting tonight, we're going to give out, but we do want to get other people in front of you and kind of see, so you can see some of the other things that are going on around the area. And so anyway, just so you know, like, for example, next week, there's not going to be a Sunday Night Live. That's going to be the second week. But then the following week we will. And we talked a little bit about Easter because Easter will be the third week this month. And so we figured we're going to go ahead and do it. 7 o'clock, like 7 p.m. We figured most people are probably going to be done with the Easter festivities. And if not, like if you've got family stuff going on, like don't feel like you have to watch it live. You can always come in and watch it later.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So anyway, that's kind of just one announcement that we've got going there. So we want to do a giveaway?
Yes, I love giveaways. I think this is my favorite.
It's like the favorite part?
This is my favorite part. I'm sorry, I'm not yelling at you guys. I just get excited.
So we're going to do a giveaway. So what we decided last week, Marilyn had a great idea about offering options to people as far as what they want, right?
Let's look at all of our options. Okay, guys. So we have our new yard signs.
Yes.
The freedom is the new normal yard sign.
Yep.
So that's an option if that's what you want. And then we have stickers. So this is I don't know if you can really see through it.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see on that one.
But it says freedom is the new normal.
It basically looks like the yard sign, but it's for your car window, right?
Yes.
Cool,
Which I haven't put one of those on my car yet.
And we also have the original Unmasked Tulare County car window stickers. Yes. So that could be an option for you to win. And then we have a fourth option. Wanted to just share something with you.
All sorts of tricks.
Wanted to share something. We talked about resources. And one of the things that we've realized is that, especially in public schools, our kids are not learning the civics and things that they need to, right? So we have to step up.
I mean, I personally don't even remember learning that in school.
Mm-hmm.
There's a possibility I could have, and I might have slept through it.
Right.
So I don't want to discredit.
But especially now, we see that there's all kinds of curriculum that's designed to make kids hate America and hate themselves and you know all that. So we really need to step up our game at home when it comes to our own kids. And so we found a pretty cool resource that's actually, I'm going to share my screen for a second. How many of you know who Dr. Ben Carson is?
I do.
Marilyn's favorite person in the world, probably, is Ben Carson. So he's got a new project going. We'll actually talk maybe a little bit more about it after the giveaway. But part of it, if you want to show this up on the screen, is he wrote a children's book, and it's called Why America Matters. And this is a great children's book. Do you want to show maybe a couple of the pages or something?
I haven't even read this yet.
It's pretty, it's kind of low level. It's going to be for younger kids, like maybe your kindergartners, first graders, even pre-K, you know, it'd be good for. But it talks a lot about, you know, why America is great and some of the fundamental principles that we have in America that we deal with. And so they talk about, let's see. Sorry, I was flipping. No, that's okay. I was just going to look. He's got like 4 pillars that they talk about: faith, liberty, community, and life. And so he just goes through, you know, in a kid's book fashion and just talks about the importance of all of those things and why they're important in America. So it's a great book for kids, grandkids, anybody along like that. So when I saw it, I ordered like 3 of them because I knew we'd probably want to do some giveaways when it came to that. So that's one of your options tonight as well, when you get the answer to our random trivia question correct. So anyway, what's our question for tonight, Marilyn?
Okay, so we have to go over the rules first.
Okay, rules.
Okay, the rules are you can only guess once.
Right.
Can previous winners win again?
Oh, yeah. That's why we have options now.
Okay. So if you've won in the past, you can still guess again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if we get through the first cycle and nobody got the right answer, we're going to open it up for second guesses. So
I feel
there'll
bad,
be an opportunity.
Mom, if you're watching, you're not allowed to guess.
Oh, boom. Sorry, Mom.
Sorry, Mom.
Okay, so what's the question?
The question is, what Tulare County hospital was I born in?
Ooh. So you were born in Tulare County.
I was born in Tulare
and
County.
And the question is, in which hospital?
Born and raised.
Okay. So which hospital was Marilyn born in and it's in Tulare County. That's your help, or that's your hint.
Okay, let's see. We'll start waiting for.
So we'll see as the answers come in here. What hospital was Marilyn born in? Hillman Hospital. That's a
Hillman.
good one.
Is there a Hillman Hospital?
I believe there's a Hillman like clinic.
Wait, hang on. Somebody.
Oh, that's Mike Porche. What up, Mike?
Paul got it.
Oh, dang. Paul got
That
it?
was so good.
Yes.
Yes, Paul got it.
Visalia Community
we were
Hospital.
trying to be tricky too
Yes.
because it's not it's a it's urgent care now. It's an urgent care clinic.
Yeah, and then there's some
Yeah.
other offices and stuff.
Yeah,
there
but
too.
it's no longer a hospital. So Paul, you
You
win.
got it.
So you'll yeah. So good job, Paul.
Yes, and I saw you there, Cindy, Kauai Delta. Good, also a good yes.
Yeah.
You got the city right. It was just the other hospital at the time.
Uh-huh.
So cool. So Paul, let us know what you want. You can pick from any of these cool prizes.
Said 2 of his sons were born there.
That's right. And they're somewhere around our age, so that makes sense.
So that does make sense.
We
were trying to be tricky.
Happy birthday week to Paul Belt, by the way. Paul just had a birthday. I won't say the age unless you want to post it in the comments there. But
I'm
anyway,
glad you said that because I almost
we love you, Paul, and appreciate you, and just want to say happy birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
And if anybody else had a birthday week this week, we love you and appreciate you as well. We just didn't know it was your birthday week. So you can post that there. And, we say happy birthday to you as well. So anyway, that's fun. And, we'll continue to do these trivias and all that stuff because it is a good time. And it's kind of a fun thing. So cool. Oh, I mentioned I was going to just talk a little bit about this Ben Carson thing. I'm going to show you just the website. This is his newest venture, I guess. Whoops. Where's that? Oh, hang on. I'm getting all too fancy for my own good. There we go. There's that.
Paul commented 6 decades plus 6.
Oh,
that's
there you
cute.
Go. That's perfect. So Ben Carson is involved now in something called the American Cornerstone Institute. And I actually heard him speaking on this a week or so ago. And that's kind of how I got involved in what they're doing. So what they've decided to do is just exactly what we're talking about doing, bringing education and just an understanding of what community is and the values of America and how America was founded and so forth. And so he's got this American Cornerstone Institute now, and they're doing lots of different stuff. They're doing conversations. So like if you go to their website and click on that, you get to see just a ton of different conversations that they have with different people. Again, they have 4 pillars. They had the faith, the liberty, the life, and I forget what the 4th one was, but they're all kind of centered around these things. But this is one of the things I was kind of excited about is they have something that's called the Little Patriots program. And so this is designed, and it's kind of like where the book came from. This is designed to just have little curriculum for your kids to go through. And it's got little online lessons, at-home activities, patriotic books, sing-alongs to teach our children about our country's founding principles. And so it's a program I went through. I signed up for it just so I could see what it was. And you just come through their website, sign up your Patriot, and it's going to give them, it's all separated by grade. So if they're kindergartners, then they have kindergarten level stuff and on up, probably through elementary school. And it's a relatively new thing, so it's a work in progress, but it is a great opportunity and a resource for people to be able to take advantage of, especially with your kids, your grandkids, your neighbors, whoever it is that you feel like you need to help out. So if you want to visit their website, it is americancornerstone.org. Again, that's americancornerstone.org. And that'll take you right here, and you can just kind of check out all the different stuff that they have to offer. So again, that book is one of the resources, and wanted to make sure that you were aware of that. So that's pretty cool, right?
Right.
Awesome.
And for those who may not know, Dr. Carson actually has a pretty phenomenal testimony and story and upbringing of his life. And he actually ran for president in 2016. Mm-hmm. But there's actually a movie out about him. So for those who do have Netflix, I actually had just seen it on there like a couple of days ago. And I had already seen the movie, but I just adore Dr. Carson. We actually went to an event in Bakersfield and he was one of the speakers, and then I got to meet him and shake his hand, and I was so starstruck. I just think he is just his story is amazing. He is amazing.
So what's the movie?
The movie is called, sorry, I got sidetracked. The movie's called Gifted Hands. So it is on Netflix. I'm sure it's on other places to watch also, but if you have Netflix, you're interested in watching it.
Right now it's there and it's free on Netflix.
If you have Netflix,
Yeah,
yes.
so they can check that out. So yeah, anyway.
It's a really good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Really
cool.
Inspiring.
Excellent. So very cool. Wanted to talk about, there is something kind of big going on this week, right? And that's the special election.
Yes. So make sure on Tuesday you get out and vote.
Yeah. So for those of you, and we know there's corners of Tulare County that are not Devin Nunes's district, like some of you are currently in Kevin McCarthy's and so forth.
That's more Porterville, correct? Yeah.
But for the rest of us, we do have an opportunity to vote for who is going to fill out Devin Nunes's term. That is a special election. The primary for that election is on Tuesday. So we wanted to make sure that you have what you need to get out and vote. So they did send out your ballots. You should have something that looks like this.
Like
you should have a ballot that looks like that. That is going to be your mail-in ballot. So you could do it that way. You could mail it in if you choose to.
That is an option. I don't remember. I actually worked for Devin Nunes's campaign during the last election, and I was I basically ballot harvested is what I did. I don't know how else to word that.
You don't have to. That's fine.
Unfortunately, it's legal.
Yeah.
So and I don't remember the exact number, but it was like if you mail in your ballot, it'll go through like 36, 37, 38-ish sets of hands before it actually gets from your mailbox to where it's supposed to go to be counted. To me, in my opinion, that's way too many.
Yeah.
I value my vote. But I understand a lot of people might not have the option to be able to, that might be their only option. I was actually talking to somebody yesterday who said, well, we mailed ours in because, we can't drive. And so we already mailed ours in and we already voted. And I told them that they said that during the election in November, they're going to want to go and try and vote in person. And I was like, if you need a ride, you let me know. I will drive you down so you can vote in person. And so I'm going to try and make arrangements to make sure they get to where they can go so they can go vote in person. But anyways, that's neither here nor there.
So what we wanted to do, if you are uncomfortable with just dropping your vote in the mailbox, we wanted to make sure that you knew that there are other options available to you. So I'm going to just pull this thing up on the screen real quick. There are voting locations. It's not as many as normal, but there are some locations where you can go and you can vote in person. And what you would do, whoops, let me try that again. So what you can do is you can go to any of these sites that are these places that are up on your screen right now on the top, and you would bring that ballot in that we just showed you that you got mailed, and you're supposed to surrender that in order to vote in person. So those are some places where you can go in and vote. Just pick the one that's closest and most convenient for you. There's also ballot drop boxes. If you don't want to trust the postal service and you'd rather drop that off in person, but you don't have time or for whatever reason can't vote in person, you can drop it off at the ballot boxes that are listed on the bottom of this graphic right here. So that is an option available to you. Just so you're aware, I'm going to pull up our cool little frame again because I made that and I'm proud of it. But if you want to, in your little ballot packet, there is another deal that has the polling locations as well. So you can read through those and see what the addresses are that are closest to you. But make sure you get out there and vote. I mean, this is important. It's a special election, but it's to fill out the rest of the time that Devin Nunes, his term was, and he stepped away. So it's a important thing.
Yes.
Right. So Tuesday is voting day. So make sure you're ready to vote this coming Tuesday, 2 days from now.
Mark it on your calendars or set up a reminder, whatever you got to do to remember. I should probably write that down too.
Absolutely.
Actually.
Okay. So all that being said, we wanted to just recap a little bit on some of the bad bills that are in Sacramento. There's
We have some very bad bills, quite a bit of bad bills.
A lot of craziness going on in Sacramento. I'm going to share my screen again because we have a cool resource that birthday boy Paul Belt
Yes, thank you, Paul.
put on our website. So again, if you go to www.unmaskedtulare.county.com, there's a tab called Bills to Speak On. And when you go to that, I'm not going to spend the time to really go through this today, but you're going to see an update on a lot of these bills that are going on. We did have a couple of them canceled or at least put on hold. And then we had one that passed their first committee, which was 1479, requiring schools to continue testing for COVID-19. That passed its initial health committee. Now it's going to education committee. So you can read through here. It gives you the opportunity to email or contact any of the senators, assembly people who are in those committees. So again, thank you, Paul. You did a great job putting this together, but this is an easy one-stop shop place where you can get involved and make your voice heard about how you feel about those bills.
Now, I have a question for you.
Okay.
If we look at that,
some
of the senators and assemblymen and women that are on here are not our direct representatives.
Right.
So should we not call them or should we not email them because they're not our personal representatives?
We should do it anyway. I mean, the decisions that they're making are going to directly affect us.
Well, and I completely agree. The reason why I ask is because I had a friend tell me that they contacted, I don't remember if it was a senator or a assembly member that said, well, you're not in their district.
I'd say and.
Well, and I think that's kind of how that went. But yeah. I agree. So I guess my point in bringing that up is if you're to reach out to them, if you call them, because more than likely if you email them, they probably won't reply would be my guess.
Probably.
I'm not saying it can't happen. It probably just won't. But if you're to call them and talk to probably one of their representatives, if they try and tell you that, I mean, that's, in my opinion, that's irrelevant.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's still going to affect you and or your family, you have the right to speak up and say something.
Sure.
So, yeah, don't let that discourage you from not reaching out to these
Absolutely.
people.
But we need to stay diligent when it comes to this. Mm-hmm. And so, the bills, especially the ones that are coming up into committee hearings soon, we want to make sure that we're, out there, everybody collectively as a whole throughout California, making our voices heard about our opinion on these bills.
Well, and I think a lot of these representatives are starting to realize that we're paying very close attention, mm-hmm. and they realize if they want to get reelected, they need to listen to what we, the people, are telling them.
Yeah.
And we need to kind of keep that pressure on them.
Absolutely. 100%. So let's make sure we continue to do that, and that'll be good. And speaking of bills, just moving into the next thing.
Yes.
We have a bill that we brought to you guys last week. It's actually not a negative bill. It's a positive bill. It's one of our members who is working actually with Devin Mathis in getting a loophole closed.
Yes.
That needs to be closed. And really, it's a nonpartisan thing. So I didn't have a problem talking about it here because it's not really something that should even be debatable. It's just closing a loophole. And really all it is there are certain rules and laws around the testimony of minors when something happens to them, say they were attacked or molested or, any number of things. If they're to testify on their own behalf, the rules are different for minors than they are for adults. And so what they didn't consider when they wrote these laws was the fact that there are adults that have the cognitive abilities, the mental capacities of minors. So, we have a special needs son. This is something that's mm-hmm. kind of dear to our heart. But, you have a lot of people who are in their 20s, 30s, 40s, but mentally they're like a 10-year-old or they're like an 8-year-old or something like that. So the law needs to be amended to basically not take into consideration only their chronological age, but sometimes their mental age.
Yes.
So what's Wendy's last name? Remind
Baker.
Me. So Wendy Baker is working on this with Devin Mathis and a bunch of other people. She's actually going to be going up and testifying this week to the mm-hmm. need to get this change made. And she's been asking people all over the place to sign support letters to get this thing done. And so we had asked you last week to reach out to Wendy. I'm going to put her contact info up here on the screen, so you can do that. If you haven't done it yet, like, reach out to Wendy, and we need to do this quick, right?
Yes. So if you're interested in signing this letter and reading the bill and the verbiage that's going to be taken out, you can either text her or email, and both of those resources are on the screen, and she can message you back or text you back. All you'll need to do if you are interested in signing the letter is you'll just print it. If you have a way to scan it back and then email it back to her, then she can print it and she'll be able to take it with her when she goes to Sacramento.
But she's leaving like tomorrow.
Yes. So this is very time sensitive. Yes.
Yeah. So hopefully you did it, since last week when we first brought it up, or many of you probably did it if you were at the Freedom Rally in Tulare. She had a table set up there as well. Mm-hmm. She's had several hundred of these. I think she was up well over 700.
Well, she messaged me earlier. She said that she's over 800 now.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So, and I have some more that I need to get to her too. So let's the more the merrier.
Yes. Every little bit helps. So if you haven't done that and you would like to, just reach out to Wendy and get that done tonight or early tomorrow morning.
Yes. Right? Yes.
Yeah.
Early in the morning. Don't wait, because she's leaving, and we want to make sure we get that to her.
Mm-hmm. So I'll leave that up there. Did you want to talk a little bit about the next thing?
I do. So I've had a couple of people reach out to me and say, we need to go to this event. And so once I had seen it, I was like, yes, we do. So Dale Bigtree, I don't know if everybody knows who Dale Bigtree is, but he is the founder of the High Wire. If you don't know who he is, I recommend you maybe looking into him and seeing. I personally like him. But anyways, they had a rally in Washington, D.C. that was, defeat the mandates. And now they're going to be having one in L.A. And that's going to be this Sunday.
The 10th.
Yeah. The 10th, right? That's a Sunday. Yeah. And it's from 12 to 8. It's going to be a very long rally. Anyways, but I'm super excited. As you guys can see, we're going to have, they're going to have some phenomenal speakers. Like Mickey Willis is going to be there, Judy Mikovits, Will Witt, Dr. Naomi Wolf, Dr. Robert Malone. Again, I said Dale Bigtree will be there. I am excited. Now, we have a couple of SUVs that are going to be going down. We're trying to keep the cost to as inexpensive as we can. So really all we're probably going to do is just ask, however many people are in that vehicle, just divide it by that and
just help with gas money.
And basically just help with gas money, and then whatever money you'll need for food. Mm-hmm. Or whatever you might need that day.
So the plan is to go down in the morning.
We will leave that morning, and then we will drive back that night.
Long day.
A long day, yes. But I do think it's important that we go. I think we need to let the state of California know that we're serious. These mandates, these bills, we're not okay with this. And the more we can gather together in one place, there's power in numbers.
Right.
So am I excited to go to LA? Not particularly, because I'm not a big fan of LA. But if that's where they're hosting it, then that's where I've got to go.
Right.
So if you're interested in going, reach out to me. We do have a couple more spots to fill if you want to go to that. And it's going to be a great time. So I'm really excited.
Very cool. Yeah. I think that's this Sunday. So you have to make a decision quickly. And if you want to drive down yourself, obviously you can. Is there a cost for this thing, or is it a free event?
No, it's from my understanding, it's free. I haven't seen anything as far as cost. So if it does cost something, I apologize. I haven't seen a cost.
None of these things would cost anything, I don't think.
But look at like Children's Health Defense.
They have enough sponsors.
Will be out there also, which is
Robert Malone.
No, Robert Kennedy Jr.
Robert Kennedy Jr.
Yes. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. So I know that when we went to Sacramento, that was a great trip. It was a long day, but it was a great trip. We met some excellent resources. And I'm kind of hoping for the same thing for LA. So reach out to me if you want to go get a spot in my little Honda Pilot. We're going to all go down there and have a really good time.
Sure. Sounds good. All right. And that, again, that's this Sunday. So make sure if you want to go and you want some coordination as far as, carpooling together with people, just reach out to Marilyn, preferably early this week, because you don't like to be making those plans last second as far as, who's going to go. Obviously, sometimes you don't know until the last minute, but if you can, let her know as early as possible.
And again, just like what Jimmy said, this time we're not taking buses or anything. But if you would rather drive separate, I mean, that's an option too. You can do that. That's fine.
Yeah.
But just know there is still some room available in my car or whatever,
Sure.
We'll make it all work out. So I'm excited. Good. It's going to be great.
Very cool. So again, this Sunday, April 10th, going to be kind of a long day, but should be a good one.
Yeah. I think I think the plan is we'll probably leave around 8:00 ish. Once I get more of an idea of who is going to go, when I have more people reaching out to me, I think what I'm going to do is just create a group text and then we'll just hammer out the details amongst us.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And then go from there. So right now we're just kind of playing things by ear and trying to figure out who still wants to go.
Yeah. Sounds great. Okay. Moving on to the next thing. We do have some opportunities that we are working with some folks to bring to everyone. And again, talking about freedom is the new normal. Each of us has a part to play in our future, in our new normal, and making sure that is a new normal that's full of freedom. And so we want to but make people aware of opportunities that are in their community specifically to get involved and do things. And so, Marilyn, you were telling me just before we got on here that you have been in communication with a friend who is putting together an opportunity for potential candidates who want to run for public office. Now, public office could mean anything from school board to city council to county supervisor to state or even federal Congress or whatever. I mean, even if you're running for your local hospital board or cemetery board or any of those kind of things, if you need to put together a campaign and know how to run for these things, that's some of the training that we're going to be working with some folks to put together for you. So we're hoping in the next week, by about midweek, maybe we'll have some details on a training that'll take a couple of hours on a weekend day.
Yeah.
And that part of what's still being worked out is what that day is going to look like or what day that's going to be. But we want to make sure, because a lot of people are like, yeah, I'd love to run for that seat, or I think I could do that job, but I have no idea how to do it. I have no idea like what steps are involved, what sort of forms I need to file, who I need to talk to, how in the heck do I run a campaign?
Yeah.
Like all of those questions that normal people like us have because we're not politicians. There needs to be a place where we learn that stuff, right? And so we've realized that, and we've been working in the background on trying to get some of this stuff together. And we're not ignoring the need to go and do some of this stuff, but we also don't want to just jump out there and go and do something and not know what the heck we're doing and then fail. So we've been working and talking to people about trying to put something like this together, a candidate training, so that people can get off on the right foot and be successful when they go out and attempt to do these things.
Yeah.
So more information will be coming in the next few days, but we do have a need from you guys. One of the things we want to do is use our mailing list to send out information to specific people in their cities. So if you live in Tulare, or if you live in Visalia or Exeter or Porterville, we need to know what kind of positions and opportunities are opening up in those cities. So you might have 2 or 3 or 4 school board seats that are opening up. You might have a couple of people on city council that you feel like need to be replaced. You might have things that you wouldn't normally think about, but stuff on committees or things on, like I said, hospital boards or, things along those lines. We don't want to limit this just to school boards. There's a lot of places that we're finding a lot of people, their passion isn't on the school board necessarily, but they are super passionate about other things. And so what we want to do is put together and find out from different people in different cities what kinds of things. Honestly, I don't want to go out and do all the research. So I'm asking you guys who live in those cities to send an email, send messages that would say, okay, these are the positions, the opportunities that are out there in our city. So then we can put an email together that has information on those things and broadcast that out. We can segment our email list a little bit by city. And we can say, okay, all the Visalia people we're sending this email to, all the Porterville people we're sending this email to, and so forth. And so we're going to be working on that in the next week or so and getting that information together and those emails put out there, because we do need to, as we transition into freedom is the new normal, we need to make sure we know what opportunities are out there and just know where we can get involved. So I'm asking for your help. I'm asking you to do a little bit of research on your end, find out, everything from school board to city council to if there's a county supervisor election or whatever else might be going on in your city. And really, it's going to be those things that are not public and well known that we really need to know about. Like I know here in town, we do have a hospital board. We have a cemetery board. We have several of these other things that nobody really thinks about. They don't get a whole lot of press, but they need people. And those honestly are the things that, like even the committees that you serve on, that nobody thinks about. We need to present those opportunities to people so they know they can get involved.
So here's my question to you. How would somebody find out the different boards that are in their town?
Well, one thing you could do is go to the county website. There's a spot on the county website. You could start with the registrar of voters. I don't want to try to find it while I'm here live, but there is a page where you can plug in your address and it'll tell you every district that you belong to, from the presidency all the way down to hospital boards and things along those lines. And so that'll kind of let you know what the elected positions are. But really what we're going to have to do is have people who know or who are involved in things that like in different committees and different things within the cities that could let us know or turn us on to some of the different things in different areas where people can get involved. One of the things that I've found out is that a lot of the decisions are made in various committees within different cities or counties or whatever, committees that most people don't even know exist. Yeah. And so you have basically the same group of people who are involved in these things and probably have been for decades. And decisions are made on those levels that most of us are not even privy to. So I would say reach out to maybe reaching out to your city council person and just saying, hey, we're trying to find out where we can get involved. Like what kind of other like lesser known boards are out there? What sort of committees are there that we can get involved with? Most of these officials are going to be excited that somebody's actually asking those questions because they're always looking for people to fill those, but they're for whatever reason terrible about communicating it. So like let's put those things together and just make sure that people are aware that these opportunities are out there. Yep. Right. But I'm just telling you, Marilyn and I are not going to sit here and spend hours and hours and hours going through every city trying to figure out all of these opportunities that are there in each one of them. So we do need you all who care about your own communities to do some of that legwork and ask those questions. So reach out to your county supervisor, reach out to your city council person, reach out to your school board. I mean, even the school board is not the only place where you can go get involved. There's, PTA, there's the all sorts of different groups that the name is, I'm drawing a blank right now, but what was the one I was on? You should know better than me. I know it's been a while. There are different committees and things. COVID. There are committees and things that, determine how money's going to be spent and all of that kind of stuff. But we need to know about those and we need to plug those to our people as far as opportunities to get involved. It was school site council. There you go. School site council. I just needed a minute. I'm sorry. So that's an opportunity, to get involved in stuff that we need to know about and we need to press out there. Right? That's right. So we need your help. So if you're seeing this right now, or if you're seeing this later, just, do some research and send us messages or emails. You can always email us at info@unmaskedtulare.com. That's one place where you can always get to us. I don't have a little spiel there where I can plug that on, but info@unmaskedtulare.com. That's a good place you'll find that on our website if you need to get in contact with us through email, or you can just send private messages or send texts. that works as well. Cool.
Cool.
What do we got next?
We have a freedom rally coming up. That's
Boom.
what we got next.
That's right. So tell me about it.
So on April 23rd, we are going to be holding our third. This will be our third. Fourth.
We did Exeter, we did Visalia, we did Tulare, and this will be Porterville.
Oh yeah.
So four.
This one's going to be in Porterville at is it Centennial Park?
Centennial Park.
At Centennial Park.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited. I think
too.
it's going to be a great event.
Yeah.
We're just working out details, I think, with permits, right? Or
Yep.
are we good?
We're still.
Ish.
The city of Porterville has been a pain in the rear to try to get the right permits to do this thing, but we think we have the hiccups worked out, and should be good to. I mean, we're going to be good to go either way. It's just whether we're doing it officially, the way they would want us to do it, or whether we're showing up with generators and just calling it a protest. So, that's still going to be the 23rd, which is a Saturday, and I think that's 3 Saturdays from now. In Porterville, and I'm excited too. Each one of these is getting better and better. So as far as like the format, how we're doing things, like we're learning, we're getting better at throwing these things, and I'm super excited because the groups of people that we are bringing in, as far as resources, that's growing. There's going to be plenty of people that have tables and easy ups and resources and things for you with a whole variety of different opportunities to get involved. This time around, we're actually going to be doing what we're calling a candidate showcase. So for the first hour, instead of it just being dead time with music where everybody's eating, we're actually going to have some of the grassroots candidates come up and have a few minutes to speak and just kind of tell you who they are and so forth. We're not endorsing any of them, but we want to give a platform, especially for those who are lesser known candidates, who can come out and just kind of tell you what they're all about. And then they'll hang out and you can meet them if you want to have a chat. And so, I mean, I'm super excited about the opportunities that are going to be there. Plus, you're going to get fired up. You're going to learn about some of the things we have going on local, and you're just going to meet a lot of great people. So these things are fun, and we've been taking them all around the valley or all around the county. And so, this stop is going to be in Porterville. But that doesn't mean just Porterville people should come. We want to see people from Visalia, Tulare, Exeter, Woodlake, Dinuba, all over the place.
Yeah. I mean, they're our neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
So, we need to stick together. Tulare County, we need to stay strong and we need to stay united. And another thing that I think is important to learn, and I'm still kind of trying to figure this out, is all the redistricting.
Yeah.
So we were in District 22, right?
Currently, yeah.
But I think with the new redistricting come November, we personally are going to be in 20.
I think so, yeah.
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. I mean, I was like looking at a map and I'm like, no, I think we're in this one. And then I messaged Jimmy and he's like, no, we're in and I'm like, But anyways, it's important to learn what your new district is and if it's going to be the same or if it's going to be different, and then to learn
who those people are,
who those candidates. Yeah, because I thought I knew, and then come to find out, I'm like, no, this candidate's not going to be in my district. And I was super bummed about that. So I'm like, okay, now I need to figure out who's going to be in my district in November because the districts are changing. So that's one thing that I want to encourage people to try and to do their homework, is to figure out what your new district is going to be, because it is all wonky. So
it is that's for sure. So Freedom Rally, mark your calendar, Saturday, the 23rd. We're going to do it potluck style like we have been. That's turned out really well. And it's going to be a great time. So we should have good weather and it'll be exciting. So mark that calendar for Saturday, the 23rd. You'll start to see graphics and advertisements come out probably in the next week or so once we have the official go ahead on the location and so forth. So I think the last thing we wanted to just shoot a reminder, we mentioned this last week that it was going to be upcoming, but just wanted to put that bug in everybody's ear again, that we want to offer an opportunity to learn a little bit more about the Constitution. And so many of you may be familiar with Hillsdale College. Hillsdale College is a very conservative, a very constitutionally based college that offers a lot of free online courses. And one of those online courses is a Constitution 101. And I'm going to share my screen here so you can see. Oh, where are we? There it is. Let me get trying to host this thing and play engineer at the same time, which is fun. So Constitution 101 is one of the courses that they offer. It's separated into like 12 different segments. You can kind of see what those are right there. But what we're going to do, Marilyn and I are going to open up our homes on Monday nights, and this is going to start the Monday after Easter. So it would be April 18th.
Yeah, that's 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Yes. So 2 weeks from tomorrow. And what we're going to do, each of these little segments here, like if I click on one of them, there's a lecture. It's like a 30-minute or so lecture. I'm not seeing where. There we go. And then there's just some short readings and things, a study guide and discussion that goes into it. So we can knock it all out in about an hour. And so we're going to just take an hour and we're going to go through 12 weeks and we're going to learn a lot more about the Constitution, Declaration of Independence, learning the meaning and history of the Constitution, and give ourselves just a good basis for actually kind of understanding some of the things that maybe we don't understand as well as we should. So if you're interested in doing that, it's going to be pretty low commitment. You can do a lot of this on your own. So if you have to miss a week, like it's not the end of the world. And it's going to be a great thing. So it'll be Monday nights from 7 to 8 o'clock at our house here in Tulare. And also, if there's anybody who lives in a different city who would like to host this, there's nothing to it. It's basically going to be, hooking up a laptop or something to your TV so everybody can see it. And then, running through this stuff. And I could walk you through that in 20 minutes. It's not a big deal. But if you want to host something along these lines, and open up your home to doing that would be a fantastic thing. And again, it's all free. There's no cost to doing any of these courses through Hillsdale. And we just think it's a great resource and something that we need to be taking advantage of, because we need to have a better understanding, I think, of what our Constitution is about. And there's several other courses that we could do after this if we choose to do so. So that's something that we're going to be doing, and we'll be talking more about it in the next week or so. And if you're interested, just let one of us know so we can expect you, and that would be great.
I'm excited. I'm excited for several reasons. One of them is because it's free. So free is always good.
Right. It is.
I like free.
Free is
stuff.
Especially now with inflation and fuel prices.
Generally speaking, yeah. And knowledge is power. Yeah. And I think that the more we educate ourselves, the more we'll be empowered. Yeah. So that's important. So anyways, I'm excited.
It's not just our kids, right? We talked about like the Dr. Carson book, and we talked about some of that with our kids, but a lot of us adults either need the refresher or we need to learn for the first time, stuff that we never learned as we were growing up. And so there's no shame in that. There's no shame in saying, I don't really understand the Constitution or the Declaration of Independence or how that all works together. I mean, I'm no scholar. I'm learning as we go as well. But we need to be open to learning, and we need to be teachable and not just be set in our ways. And not just make assumptions based on, the 2-minute YouTube clip that we watched, or, something that we, watched on a video somewhere. We need to get our actual education down from sources that we know are reliable. Yeah. And this is a great opportunity to do that. So it's an exciting thing.
Well, and for me personally, I struggle with, I know that there was a lot of things I learned in high school or in school that I don't remember.
Sure.
Like, I will admit that. I mean, it's embarrassing. Like, if I was to take some sort of like placement test now, I would do worse now than if I was like fresh out of high school.
Sure. I think most of us are in that situation.
Because for me, if I don't use that stuff regularly, I forget
You'll lose it. Yeah. You're not the only one. I mean, all of us are basically like that. And so the stuff that we've learned a long time ago that we don't use, like, you at least need a refresher course.
Yes.
And able to do it. So anyway, that's what this is going to do for us, is either refresh us or teach us for the first time. Some of the stuff that we never knew, which is and I looked ahead. I went through the first 4 modules, and it's really good stuff. There's some things that I learned. This was months ago before we decided to do this.
Without
But
us.
there's really good stuff in there, and it'll be worth your time for sure. So just want to encourage you to jump in there with us. Right?
Right.
Cool.
And if nobody shows up, then it'll just be me and Jimmy.
Yeah, we'll do it ourselves. That's fine too.
Maybe we'll make the boys
take it with us.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure they'll love that. Good deal. Okay, guys. Well, I think that's about all we had. So we should come in under an hour this time, which was kind of what our hope was. I apologize if it felt a little bit rushed, but we did want to respect everybody's time and get out of here, without lingering too much just in random conversation. So anyway, that's probably
I think, that's all we have.
Yeah. So we want to pray before we
Yep.
get out of here, because again, and I may sound like a broken record on this, I apologize, but prayer is key from before the beginning of all of this. We've realized that like God has to have not only have a part in this, but take the lead in this. And so you're going to hear me pray a lot about aligning ourselves with his will, because one of the things that we can be guilty of as people, we say we're God-fearing people and all that, but we ask God a lot of times to align himself with our will, as opposed to aligning ourselves with his will. And that's where frustration comes from. A lot of times we get frustrated. A lot of times we blame God because he didn't come into alignment with what we thought he should do, and so forth. And it's really a mentality shift that we need to get ourselves into, is saying, God, not my will, but your will be done. And whatever it is that you're doing in the world, whatever it is you're doing in California, whatever it is you're doing in Tulare County, or in these situations that I'm frustrated with, like, God, let me see what it is that you're doing so I can step into it. Like, that's the mentality that we need to have if we're going to be able to step into what God is doing. So, we want to shift ourselves that direction. And that's along the lines, you're always going to hear me pray that way, because I fully believe that. And I believe that, God has to be in charge of the change that's happening in California. And I just have to say that some of the things, I don't have time to get into them tonight, but some of the things that have happened in the last year, the people that we've met, the conversations that we've had, kind of some of the thread that is common throughout a lot of those relationships and conversations. Like, I've talked to several candidates, and I won't say who they are, but I've talked to several candidates for local positions who have told me the exact same thing about what's happened in their prayer life surrounding running for office. And it's very similar to what's happened in our life when it came to Unmasked Tulare County. And I'm just like, man, there's a theme, and God is moving in this stuff. And when you can see that, it's almost like those are little bits of encouragement, where it's like, we might be reading about craziness that's happening in the news. We might be discouraged with all the stuff that's going on around us. And, but when you see that, it's like God gives you little, almost like jelly beans, right? And he just gives you these things, and it's just enough to say, look, I'm doing something, be patient. I've got the big picture in mind. And, as long as you stay in line with what he's doing, then we're going to see some amazing results. And so, that's the big part of it. He's the one who's responsible for results. We're the ones who are responsible for obedience. And so we have to keep that in mind. We can be so results oriented, and we can get frustrated. We can get all of these things with results or lack of results, right? But ultimately that's his job.
Yes.
Not mine. And sometimes the fact that it takes so long to get to the results is him teaching us that he's responsible for it and not me. So, there's lessons to be learned there as well. But let's pray.
Yep.
All right. Lord, we come to you today knowing that you are the God who has to be the one who's in charge of all of this. And first and foremost, we just acknowledge that, and we surrender our will. I surrender my will to yours. I have plans, and I have thoughts, and I have ideas, and I have, the way that I would see things go. Like, I have that sometimes all figured out in my mind, but it's not my will, but it's your will that has to be accomplished in this world. And in order for us to actually see results, we have to surrender ourselves to that. And so right now, God, I just surrender. On behalf of Unmasked Tulare County, I surrender our group, and I surrender our organization to your will, not our will. And God, I pray that you would you would step in just with wisdom, and you would show us direction and give us creativity and give us all of those things to be able to accomplish your will. Lord, I pray that your blessing would be on the things that we're doing, because we're taking your steps and not our own. And so, God, I pray that you would give us, you would highlight in our minds this week areas that we can get involved in our communities, that we would get those things together, that we would have the conversations with our friends and our family and our loved ones. God, I pray that you give us wisdom. And specifically, I'm hearing in my spirit right now, specifically with loved ones and friends and family members who don't think the way we think when it comes to this stuff. I pray that you give us wisdom in those conversations where we don't sacrifice the relationship because we need to be right, but that we're able to take those conversations, when we're able to take opportunities and step into those in a way that has wisdom in it, and that you would help us to communicate properly your heart. Lord, everything that we communicate has to be done in love in order for it to be coming from you. That's the way you operate. You speak the truth in love. And we never want to run from truth, but we have to do it in a way that is in love. And that can only be done through wisdom that comes from you. So God, we're going to be getting together with family members and stuff for Easter. And we're going to be, being around people in springtime, going out, and we haven't been able to do in the last 2 years. And I just pray that wisdom would guide our conversations. Lord, those of us who are watching this live are passionate about a lot of these things: freedom, liberty, freedom of choice, medical freedom. We're passionate about those things. And God, I just pray that we would have wisdom and exercise that wisdom in how we conduct ourselves with other people. And so, Lord, I just pray once again that you would just provide us with the next steps that we need to do, that you would bring us into alignment, God, because unity is where you command your blessing. And so I pray that you would just weave that common thread throughout our movement, that the ideas and the creativity that comes from you would just be something that we could be united in. Lord, I pray for our freedom rally that's coming up in a couple of weeks. I ask that you begin to draw people in, begin to free up schedules, begin to just get some buzz going around what could happen in Porterville. Porterville's a city in our county that needs a lot of help, and it's a great opportunity for you to do some amazing work. And so we just pray that that groundwork would be laid, that you would begin to put people in the right places and having the right conversations, that you would line things up appropriately. And we just pray that your hand would be upon the things that we believe you've called us to do. So Lord, I pray for every person who's on this live right now. I pray for blessings in their family. I pray for blessings in their relationships. I pray for blessings in their finances. Lord, help them to be shielded and guarded from inflation. Lord, give them wisdom in how to conduct themselves financially. Lord, give them just your favor when it comes to dealing with anybody they need to deal with. And I just speak blessing and favor over all of us. In the mighty name of Jesus, amen.
Amen.
Boom. All right, guys, that's it for tonight. We're coming in just under an hour, so we love you, and we'll talk to you in 2 weeks. So no live next week, but we will join you Easter evening. So we'll catch